Hi, my crafty friends. It's Diane Evans with stampingwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if this is your first time joining me and you're joining me on YouTube, make sure that you do subscribe. Hit that bell down below and you'll get notified immediately as soon as I upload a new video. And I do several lives during the week, but I also do some other posts as well. So also, if you're joining me on Facebook, I do not see who's coming on unless you've joined through my Facebook page. But if you are joining through my Facebook group, if you could just say hello and say who you are, then I'll know who's on here. So welcome to my What Now series. Basically, this is a series that I do every single Thursday night. Well, I hate to say that every single because there may be a time that I can't do it, which was last week actually. But when I go on live at Thursday at 6:30 Pacific time, and we talk about something, and we go up and I show you something from the craft room and I give you a different use for it. You may have something in your craft room that you go, what did I get that for? Give me some ideas. I do not do any what now for retired products anymore. And the reason being for that is because 9 times out of 10, I probably don't even have that product in my craft room. Well, we hope that I don't, so that I don't go ahead and use it. So today what we're going to do is we're going to use a tool. And I'm excited. I use this tool all the time. And I'm sure if you have one of these, you will as well. Now, one other thing I just wanted to mention is that, oh my goodness, this is not the right, it's just not the right, that's not the right host code. Anyways, you still have, let's see, it's 6:30, 9:30, 10:30. You still have 5.5 hours to take advantage of that fantastic sale where you have a sale on paper, on stamp pads, and also dies from the annual catalog. Really, they don't offer this very often, and it's very seldom that they do offer a sale on paper. There's lots of things that are on back order as it is right now, but they're still honoring it, so that's all a good thing. So let's get started on this. And let's see what tool it is that we're going to work with. So we are working with the Take Your Pick tool. I'm sure most of you have this Take Your Pick tool in your stash. It comes when you do get the Take Your Pick tool, it comes with this end here, which is amazing. It's got putty on the end. It's amazing for picking up different pieces. It's great for picking up little tiny pieces of paper, any kind of an embellishment that you want for there. But it also has this fantastic poker on the end. I use this an awful lot for taking off the backs of my dimensionals. And you have two. I think I've got 4 or 5. It's just one of those things that you've got to have one at one end of the table, one at another end. On the back part of this one is the spatula. And it's a great thing for lifting things. I don't use it as much as probably what I could. But this kit also comes with an extra one of the putties. It comes with that. Plus also it comes with a stylus. We can't buy a stylus anymore like we used to be able to buy a stylus. So also another thing that you can get as a separate one is this. And this is amazing because this is what brushes all those little tiny pieces out of the dies. And I use this a lot. I tend to have one of my Stamparatuses, one of my Take Your Picks with this end on and the poker on it as well. But what we're going to do today, oh, and when it comes with the brush, you also get 2 of these sponge things, and they basically, they help you take out those little pieces. But today what I want to do is I want to show you the benefits of the stylus. Now it has a small stylus and it has a big stylus. I am going to use the end with the big stylus, and I'm going to show you a technique with that. So let's just put those out of the way. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to actually do a card. I must be stuck on this. I have no idea, but it's nobody better. It's a really cute stamp set. I haven't used it enough. So that's what I want to do is I want to use this. So we're going to use that, and we're going to use the stylus with this. Another thing that we're going to be using tonight is this Wintry 3D embossing folders. I'm using the snow one. Why wouldn't I? Because of the snow. And of course, we're also going to need the paper piercing mat here. So I'm going to bring in my paper that I need for this. And I guess this one's actually looking like I'm using a few things. I'm going to do something with the paper trimmer. I'll give you a tip with the paper trimmer. We're using vellum as well. So that's kind of a neat thing to use. All right, so I am going to, because I need to get this good and dry. When you stamp on vellum, it takes a long time to dry. So actually, mine has sat for a couple of days in prep for this whole class. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in with this ink pad, and I'm going to use my Memento on here. I could use Stays On. Stays On would dry a little bit faster. I'm not a real lover of Stays On. I love the smell of it, but I'm not a real lover of the actual Stays On. It really stains the stamps, and it's really not good for your photopolymer stamps as well. All right. So let's just put that down. And what I'm actually going to do with this down like that, I'm going to actually set this aside because, like I say, I've already gone ahead and I have stamped that. Let me just show you one thing. It takes, watch this, it just rubs off. It really makes a mess of things. So it's best that you just let this dry. Now, another thing that I did when I cut out, I used the, oh my goodness, where are they? I used the seasonal dies, and I cut out this big one here. I haven't used that one enough. I had issues using it. So what I did was I just went and I cut it out, and then we've got this piece here. So now I know that this is not going to, it's not going to rub off. So I know I'm going to be safe with that. So what we're going to do tonight, I'm going to get the card ready, and then we'll do the technique with our stylus. So I am using a piece of thick basic white, and this is wrong. I just need a half a piece. And that was crazy because I knew that that piece wasn't right. So I just have a piece of basic white. I just put an elastic around here so that I don't lose my scoring blade. But anyways, we have a piece of whisper white or basic white, and we're going to cut it 5.5 by 8.5. So let me just go, and that's the halfway mark with the A2 paper. And we're just going to go ahead and cut that. All right. So now I want to show you something that's on my trimmer. This is 1/4 of an inch of, I use So Saffron. It doesn't really matter. You could use a 12 by 12 piece of paper and cut off a 1/4 inch. This is a 1/4 inch cut off of a piece of 8.5 by 11. And what I've done is I put some glue dots on here, and I've marked this. Now, the reason I've marked that is so that I can see this line of the measurements. If you don't see this line, it's very hard to do this particular technique. We are going to do a center fold step card. So I'm just going to bring in my measurements so I don't get them messed up. Oh my goodness, that's not going to help me. Okay, so with this type of a card, I want it to be where it's going to be a center step up card. So I'm going to tell you, on this side here, I'm going to measure this at 1 inch. I'm going to bring in my scoring blade, and let me kind of put this off to the side here so that you can see this. And I am going to score, this is 5.5 inches. I am going to score in 1 inch. So that's going to take me into 4 inch. And the way I do that is I line this piece right here. And I'll just bring that up. I love what somebody said last night. This is the automatic zoom. So I'm just lining up that crosshair there with that. So let me just go to 4.5 inches, and I'm just going to score. And I just want to take that and score a couple of times. Now, if I wanted to, just to let you know, let's go ahead and use our take your pick tool. And instead of using that scoring blade, what I can do is I can go to 4.5 inches right in here. Oh, and it's not going to let me. Maybe I can do it with my bone folder instead. Oh, there we go. Wasn't over far enough. So I would go to 4.5 inches, and then I can just score down like that. And then I also want to score at the 1 inch. So I'm just going to go to 1 inch and just score up there. So see, now we're using our take your pick tool as, oh shoot, I hope. Ugh, I don't know how I got that on there. Anyways, so then all we're going to do is we're then going to turn this around, and we're going to measure this up to 2 inches. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to measure the 1 inch up there, score up to there. You can use your scoring blade from your trimmer. And then I'm just going to go here and trim from the 4.5 to the 5.5. So that's given me a score line here and here. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to go up to the 5.25 inch mark. No, I'm not. I'm going to go up to the 4.25 inch mark, and I am going to go ahead and score from the 1 inch mark down to the 4.5. So what I'm doing is I'm scoring in between those 1 inch lines. And what I'll do when I do this, I will put a copy of a template like this so it helps you out. And then now I'm just going to move this over to the 5.25 inch mark. And I'm again going to mark those 1 inch ones. So I'm just going to come down here, go to the 1 inch, and go down here from the 4.5 to the 5.5, and that gives me the 1 inch. So you can see that what I have here is I have a score line that goes in the middle here. Pretty hard to tell on this one here, but I have score lines on the outside here at 1 inch, one at 2 inch. I have them at 5.25 inch, and right here in the middle, I have this at 4.25 in between the two 1 inch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cutter, my cutting blade, and I'm going to line this up at the 1 inch mark. And I am going to cut between the 2 inch mark here, or sorry, the 1 inch mark here. So I'm lining that up. That goes down to 1 inch from there. And I am going to cut to 5.25 inches. So I'm going to cut that. Just bear with me here. Where's my, let's see, sorry. I just got to see where that line is. 1/4 inch line. I am going to, like I say, go with my 1 inch. I am going to go, this is going to be 5.25. So this is, oh shoot, take it this way. Yes. All right, so it's in between. I've got to fold that so that I can see those. Oh, I didn't score on that side. Let me just quickly score on that side. 5.25. And I've got to just come down. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you there. And I have to go in here and score at the 1 inch. There we go. Now that'll give me where I can see where I can do this. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut from the 1 inch mark down here at the bottom. I'm just going to kind of give it a bit of a crease so that I can see it. And I'm going to cut, place it 1 inch, and we are going to cut from this 1 inch that's down here down to 3 1/4. 1 inch from there. This is, and we're going to cut right to 3 1/4. And the reason 3 1/4, that's actually 5 1/4 from this end here. No, that probably didn't make much sense to you. And then I could turn this around here and then cut again, put this on the 1 inch side. And we are going to cut from the 1 inch part down here. And we're going to cut down to 5 1/4 on this side. I probably should have just turned it over. That would have made a lot more sense for you. I apologize. All right, so we have our cardstock cut. So I'm just going to take this and I am going to fold along the center part here. We're going to fold on this part here like that. I'm going to go ahead and score that. That is going to be, this is the 4 1/4 inch, and then these are going to just fold down like so. So let's just go like that. Just use our bone folder, and this is going to give me a center fold, right like so. So that's what it's going to look like. It's just like that. Okay. So then I also went and took some Pool Party, and I've cut this at 4 inches by 4 inches, or 3 1/4 inches by 4 inches. And I ran it through this embossing folder. So that's going to sit right there for us. And then I also went and I took 2 pieces that were 7/8 of an inch by, let's get to the technique, Diane. Sorry about that. Okay. So I also put these 7/8 by 3 1/8, and I ran those also through that embossing folder. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's go ahead and attach that right there. So I'm going to use glue. And like I say, we're getting the card base done so that we can turn around and then I can show you the technique that we're going to do. There we go. So this is called a center step card. And like I say, I'll put the template on, which will help tremendously. And it was hard because I'm working on white. If I was using another color, it probably would have worked a lot better. So I just have that on here, and then we're going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to put them right on there. And I'm using glue because it's embossed. And then let's just put that right in there. And this piece here as well. Here we go. There we go. All right, so that's going to be our basic part of our card. So this is what we're going to use our stylus for. We were lucky enough that we got to use it for doing our scoring because I couldn't get it in there. What you want to do is you want to take the thick end of the stylus, and we're just going to just put it in there. Now this was good and dry. This is really good and dry. So what I want to do is I want to create some dimension on these snowmen. So what we're going to do is we're just going to work in circles, and we're just going to, and what this is doing, and you don't want to press too hard, at least it's the thick end. If you go with the thin end, there's a good chance that you could cut through right onto, right through the card or the vellum cardstock. So when you do this onto the front, that's what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to give a bit of dimension is all I'm trying to do on here. I had done this, oh, I don't know how long ago, with the stamp set. Nobody Loves You, I think is what it was called. It's a stamp set that was around for quite a while anyways. So we can go ahead and just put a bit on here. So see, when we put this on here, what we're doing is we're creating more dimension on there, but we're also creating the illusion of some shading on there as well. So you can do it a little bit lighter in here. And what that's going to do is that's just going to give it a bit where it's going to pop up off of the paper. So I could also go in here and put a bit of this on some of these. And this is a big snow person right there. And so that's what this is going to look like. So it looks like actually what you're doing is you're putting snow onto the snowman. So let's go back and let's do a bit more on this guy here. We do it on to all of the snowman faces. And so you just turn it and see, is that how I want it? I'm going to just sort of get this so that it kind of, it shades out a bit. Is that the right word? So that's going to go onto here like so. So like I say, that's going to give us the white snow look on there. I'm just going to do it just a tiny bit more. Now, the other thing that we can do is we can turn around, and with our blends, we can turn around and we can color. So I want to have some, this is done in Pool Party. So I want to have a bit of Bermuda Bay on some of the scarves. And I'm doing it on the opposite side is what I'm doing. So we're just going to do a tiny bit of coloring there. It's got his mitts. Let's see. And we're going to have matching scarf and that. And then I can also go in and I wanted to use polished pink. But what happened was I couldn't find my polished pink. I think it's in a box for me to make something with, to do another project with. So I'm just going to put some pink on this guy. And that's got a pom-pom there. So I'm just going in with my, whoops, with my stylus. And let's see, just there. So what I'm doing is I'm turning around and I am actually coloring on the right side is what I'm doing on here. And it does tend to make, I can make it light or dark. I'm going to go in with a couple more colors. You know what? I'm okay to use Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to use some Granny Apple Green on this guy. And what other colors should I use? We got green. I guess we could use yellow too. And of course we have to have a bluebird, right? So let's go and color our bird blue. That's not going to show up that much. Actually looks like this is dead, this one. What's light? No. All right. And we have to do some pumpkin pie carrot noses. Oops. I did not want to color out there. Just go in. Now, I am using the blends, and the reason I'm using the blends is because these are going to dry a little bit faster than my my markers would. So that's the reason why I'm using the blends on here. Let's go in, let's use some yellow. And I'm using all dark colors on this particular one. And what color should I use on there? Well, of course, we got to have purple in there, right? So let's go ahead and just put some purple. There we go. All right, so now what we're going to do, like I say, we've got that snow look. So now I'm going to come on with this, and we're going to actually attach it to here. But what we're going to do before that is we might as well put some ribbon on here. So I'm going to use, I've got a choice. I can use this ribbon, which is the grosgrain ribbon, or I could use this shimmer ribbon. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the shimmer ribbon. So I'm going to come in with my glue dot, and let's just get our take your pick tool. Now I got to change that one out. Where is my other take your pick tool? Want to have. Can anybody see it here? Should have a brush on it. My goodness, how can you lose something with a brush on it? All right. Oh, it's because I took it completely off at the table. All right, so I'm just going to take some glue, and I'm just going to actually put it right, a glue dot right about there. So I'm just going to wrap my ribbon around here. And I think I'll do another glue dot over here. But see, these take your pick. I don't know if one is enough. That's the unfortunate part is I think it's one of those tools that you just need to use it for everything. When I have the brush on it, I don't use anything else with it. So I'm just going to bring this over here. I shouldn't have put that glue there. I should put it right there because it's going to get covered. So let's go ahead and put that there. I'm going to take this off up here. This came off of something else. I can play with that and I can get something else on there. So let's just put this here. Right. Could actually put those glue dots onto the back as well. So I just want to come over here and let's cut this. Like there. And all I'm going to do is bring this around like so, and I want to tie this into a bow. There we go. So if you got some ideas of product that is available, like I say, I won't be using product that's retired. Let me know. I'm just going to go and let's put a bow right here. Like that. That is too big of a bow. Let's see, just there. Maybe I can tie it this way. And I'm going to tie it really tight, and I've got lots of extra. That wasn't very bright, was it? Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to cut that off. We're almost done our card. So we have our snowman. We've got them with the white on there. That's giving us the look of snow and being snow. So what we can do with this is we can turn around and we can use glue dots to put this on. And where we're going to put the glue dots is where we have the snow, because it's not going to show through. Because we all know that vellum shows through where you attach it. So we can go ahead and just use some glue dots for this. And let's see, we put one there. And another one right there. And let's see. So it's just going to go like so, the glue dots. And then all we're going to do now is put a sentiment on here. Now there's some great sentiments on here. We can put cold hands, warm hearts. That one's a really cool one. We could do your snow cool. That might be kind of cool for the kids. How about snowflake hugs? So I'm just going to go and I'm just going to take, I've got some, well, that's not going to work with this piece of paper. It'll work with this one. So I've got Bermuda Bay, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that snowflakes on there. Oh, where is it? I think it's this one. Warm snowflake hugs. And put that on there. No, what does it say? That one is cold hands. I want to do the snowflake hugs. I think that's, here we go. It's over here. So we're just going to put that like so. Oops, that's got a halo on it. Just like so. And let's quickly just cut that out. And we're going to put it on here. You know, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right across there. So, you know what? I'm going to fussy cut it. Now, what I could have done too was I could have turned around and I could have done this with white embossing. But hey, I've done a card without embossing powder. That's a big plus. And we're just going to put this up here. Yeah, we'll put that up there. And I'm going to put that on with a little mini dimensional. Well, I'll make a mini dimensional. And just put that like that. And let's put that there. And of course, we need to have some embellishments. So I don't think this is going to work. I think this would have been a really nice one to use, but I don't think it's going to work on there. So I'm just going to go in with my rhinestones and use rhinestones. You can never go wrong with rhinestones, right? So come back in with my Take Your Pick tool. The star of the show tonight. And let's put, and you know what? I'm going to get a little crazy and let's put, this is going to come up like this. So I want to make sure that I don't have too many on there. I mean, underneath where I can't see it. And let's put a couple small ones. We can put one down here and we can put another one. 1, 2, 1, 2. And put one right up here. All right. So there we go. There's our using the vellum, but using the stylus end of the Take Your Pick tool. And hopefully that gives you some inspiration of different things you can do. Your stylus, like I say, there's so many things you can, oh, you like it when I emboss. Well, you know what, Felicia, I love it when I emboss. I truly love embossing. That would have looked so good on white. But anyways, there's our card, a cute little card for the grandchildren. Or I guess you could send that to anybody. But this also covers up being able to put the glue dots onto the back. So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget you have just a a few hours to save on your paper. You also have, um, don't forget, if you're going to spend about $100, why would you not join the community? It's a great community. Ask anybody that's with Stampin' Up! The fact that you get to meet so many different people. I mean, I do blog hops with people from all around the world, and I just love it. So I hope that you enjoyed that tonight, and we will talk to you soon. So bye for now. It's not stopping. It's all good, though.